The significance of a clutch in Valorant is so important, yet you don't even realise it. A successful clutch can swing the momentum in your favour and shatter the opponent's morale. Boaster had a 39 clutch percentage throughout Champions, and the majority of these clutches had a huge influence on whether they could win the game and give them one last chance to win it all.
Down a tap onto it, less seeking to try and force the fight out. It's played to perfection.
Today, I'll be breaking down all 28 clutch situations Boaster was thrown in and understand how he clutched and what it meant to the team going forward. Boaster's time as a pro player has not been easy. Struggles of proving you're a good IGL is very difficult, as your leadership skills and strategies are more important than your mechanical ability. Therefore, people tend to look at stats and cross them out immediately for being a good player. So Boaster has had to work hard and trust his teammates that they'll work together. He has been on Fnatic for 2 years now and won back-to-back trophies this year, making him go down in Valorant history. However, winning a Champions is a whole new level of success. Champions happens every year and it's by far the biggest event. After winning back-to-back, Fnatics were the favourite going into Champions. So what happened? Their first game was against Zeta, where it was a comfortable 2-0 for Fnatic, with Boaster not entering a single clutch situation. However, his next game would be against Billy, where he would be put in a clutch situation 8 out of the total 28 times we saw him in Champions. Billy are on an eco round, and therefore Rin decides to go for a risky play in hopes of getting any value out of this round. He manages to get 2, and all of a sudden it's a 2v4 in favour of Billy. Alpha and Boaster walk up together, getting a kill each, but Alpha dives, leaving Boaster in a 1v2.
Not ideal there. Yosemite's going to catch him, leaving Boaster in a 1v2. Yosemite position noted, but does not know.
Unfortunately, he can't clutch the round, but only a couple rounds later, he's left in a 1v3, a chance to redeem himself. Leo dives to the flank, so he knows he has 2 players in front of him and 1 behind. He wants to take a fight quickly before the flank gets closer. If he can kill just one of the 2 players in front of him, then it's basically 2 1v1s.
For a second or two, allow himself to come out of this, maybe find a fair fight. Spots one, gets him, spotted the second, he knows one's along, he knows where both of these players are. This is very doable! Boaster, the 1v1 now, down to 46, but a potential, and he's read it so damn well!
Throughout the tournament, the stakes get higher, and so clutches like these mean a whole lot more. The positioning from Boaster is great here, as his enemy can come from 2 different ways, and so instead of taking a 50-50, he tucks himself into this corner, which allows him to watch both angles at once. A big part of Fnatic's strategy on Haven is playing post plant with Boaster's Astropole. It's very effective for buying time, and therefore Boaster is a key player that must survive for this strategy to work. This means leaving Boaster in many clutch situations.
Now noted at least 2 of the players here. Yosemite digs out Chronicle. It's down to Boaster. He's got to be clean about it. He is!
Not even a round later, and all 5 of Billy have pushed down mid to throw off Fnatic's game plan. This causes many fights and leaves Boaster in a 1v1. Only against a Spectre though, so it's an easy dub for Boaster. However, that would be the last clutch from Boaster for a while, as the next game on Lotus, Billy would bring some heat, and Boaster was put in impossible situations to clutch. He did win 1 clutch though, but it was barely a clutch because him and his teammates just died before the spike blew up, therefore granting a clutch. After beating Billy, they qualified from the group stage, and the first team they got matched with was the infamous Loud. Obviously, the history between these 2 teams were huge, and Loud were out for their revenge. Fnatic 10, Loud 12. Boaster and Leo versus Lesson 2Es.
It's a lovely connection. Cuts away on a side.
Oh, well, just Boaster. If he loses this, then they are on the back foot, with added pressure to win their next map.
Leo is left wondering, where are they? Boaster with so much more to do. This is for the map. 7 bullets dropping down, a tap onto it, less seeking to try and force the fight out. It's played to perfection.
Whew. Another lifeline granted by Boaster. Played the time beautifully, not giving Les any time to fight him. Unfortunately, they lost the next round, but pushing Loud that 1 round closer can give the team confidence that they can actually win the next 2 maps. However, Fnatic fell flat on map 2, and the 3 clutch situations that happened were impossible for Boaster.
1 player left, soon to be cleaned up, and Loud have done it, a 2-0 to take out Fnatic.
Fnatic's second loss of the year meant they would be put into the lower bracket, no margin for error anymore. Fnatic start strong against their next opponent's Foot. They win the pistol round with a mind-blowing clutch from Boaster.
Zerka, the swing in now onto the site, Attic Captain, finding Leo, Boaster, the last man standing.
Only one more time Boaster was put in a clutch situation against Foot, and unfortunately it was far from an easy one. Everyone thought it was just a one-off for Fnatic, and they were back to their usual self, beating Foot. But then DRX absolutely demolished them unbind, 13-1, where Boaster was the last one to die on round 13. This is where pressure really kicks in for Fnatic. Losing 13-1 means there is very low energy within the team, and as well as Boaster being the IGL, he's also the emotional support for the team, as he needs to make sure all of his teammates are feeling confident and working together correctly. If they lose this game, they go home. As mentioned earlier, the Astrapal is an essential part of Fnatic's game plan on Haven, and Boaster is the last one alive in a 1v2. He must win this round to give his team any sort of momentum on turning this game around.
By the time, pulled away, perfectly played. Running out of pressure, seconds in, down to 28. I don't think they've got it.
Boaster strikes again. Could this be the turning point where Fnatic can get back into this game? Well, not quite, as Boaster is yet again left in a difficult situation. However, they do find success and push this series to a map 3. Both teams are putting their all into this final map. One goes through to the next round, other goes home. DRX win the first 3 rounds, but Fnatic claw their way back into this game, making it 6-4. If Fnatic can keep riding this wave of momentum, then they could break away from DRX before the next half. Marco makes an insane play to try dig this round out for DRX, and it's all down to Boaster.
Out of his hat, but it's still down to the 1v1. Can he find it for the ace? Can he find Boaster? Doesn't see him for the first, the second. Boaster's got it!
That clutch was crucial for Fnatic, as it kept the momentum, ending the game at 13-6 for Fnatic. 2 huge clutches for Boaster in this series allowed his team to win the game. I'm sure if he lost these clutches, then the story could have ended shorter for Fnatic. With 4 teams left, Fnatic were edging closer to victory. However, people weren't as confident they was going to win compared to at the start of the tournament. In fact, the ultimate test would be upcoming for Fnatic, as they would face Loud once again, but this time, losing means they go home. It was not easy for Fnatic. Even Boaster couldn't save them.
Trade them for less, and the 1v1 less!
The map ends 13-4 to Loud, and with Loud's map pick to play, it was looking dire for Fnatic. With Loud having a 76% map win, somebody needed to step up for Fnatic, otherwise the run would finally be over. Both Loud players are grouped in a 1v2. Boaster decides to position himself below Heaven as he can slice angles to try isolate fights. Aspas dashing out gives Boaster the idea that they are slightly split from each other, which prompts Boaster to peek out and pick up a kill.
Beautiful! Boaster now! 1v1! He's playing!
Yet again, Boaster cuts all noise and uses the smoke as cover while time is ticking.
Ringer, Rosie, you gotta get towards the spike, and Boaster, he needs to check on this. Dewey's drifts away! Boaster! Leading by example!
Absolute greatness from Boaster once again. Him cutting all the noise and using the smokes allows him to position himself behind Tui's while he has to defuse. This allows Fnatic to fight Loud into a map 3. Boaster really did try his best, almost making something out from nothing in this one round.
Big trade for Boaster! Boaster! He's gotta go nuclear in this though! This could be incredible. Catch on the flashes to reveal everything, but it's given them an inkling. But he's got an angle. He's got a chance!
But Boaster was really stepping up this series, yet his teammates couldn't find the same level of success. They were only just hanging in this map, and Boaster managed to pull off his signature strategy once again.
Like flies, and Fnatic, even with their backs to the wall, are desperately trying to hold this, and they might just have it.
As you should have learnt by now, is to never count Fnatic out, as they are still well into this game, only 2 rounds behind Loud. This next clutch would be crucial for Fnatic to finally get themselves fully back into this game.
Line trying to get involved in this, and now down to just Boaster, and I say just, it's the 2 IGLs again!
Unfortunately, they lost and couldn't find an opening into this game. Loud defeat Fnatic for the second time this tournament and knock out Fnatic. So what can we learn from all this? His positioning is great at being able to hide from certain angles and isolate gunfights. His awareness allows him to quickly build an image of where exactly the enemies might be, so he can play around with any information he may have and position himself accordingly. Cutting noise within a clutch is a must, and you will see him always play this way. The element of surprise is one of your only factors you can use to isolate a fight and win the clutch.
Drifts away!
Lastly, we have time, which is very effective at using, especially in post plants, where he knows if he can stay alive as long as possible, then the enemy has to either defuse or force a fight that might be in favour for Boaster. Boaster is great at finding different timings and playing around any information he may have. If you want to learn how to aim like PRX something, who plays second place at Champions, then you can click here. If not, it's been your boy Critical. Peace out.